Hi friends, this is Marilyn from tarotclarity.com, and today I'm going to do another one of the demonstration readings I did, reuniting a deck of cards with a spread that very might well have been used with that deck of cards. Now the other day I said I was going to use that, use the deck, the Fina della Torre, but I've already shown two videos in recent days, so I decided that I'd go with the Tarocco Bolognese Carte Fine El Mondo. And it's still a deck that was created by Marco Benedetti, so I'm still doing a Benedetti deck. And the reason I'm choosing this one instead is because of the date. Where's the date? Well, maybe it's on the card. This deck would have been more in keeping with the period of time. Since this deck has the Form Wars, we know that it was created at least in 1725 and no later than 1760, because in 1760 the Bolognese developed the reversible cards where you would have, you know, the knight here and then repeat it upside down. So we know that this deck was created around the same period of time as the hand spread. Now, I also mentioned that I wanted to reunite some money with the game. Now, the only coins that I have from roughly this period of time is this coin from Sardinia, when Sardinia became part of Piedmont, became part of the Italian states. This coin is from 1718 when that happened. It looks, I'm not really sure of the image, it's so old, but it looks like maybe a crown and some kind of lemniscate or snake or something. And on this side, there's a simple cross. And then this coin is a French coin, but the timing is perfect. It's 1770 France. And it's the image of a woman. Maybe it's a man. Ludov the 15th. And then on the back we have fleur-de-lis in a shield. So although this is a French coin and this is an Italian deck, it's possible that a French friend and an Italian friend might have been wagering, you know, in a card game together and using their money. But at any event, I'd be willing to bet that both of these coins back in the 1700s probably passed the hands of a tarot player at some point. So I thought it would be fun to reconnect coins with the deck. Now I have a question for today, and it's a personal one, so it's not a fake question. Now I'm not going to be too specific, but I'm working on a project. I'm always working on a project. I'm usually always writing an article that appears in someone else's magazine or book. Or, you know, I'm working on a project. And as a matter of fact, I'm doing both things. I'm working on an article and I'm also working on a project. My question, though, is in regard to the project that I'm working on, because it's a bit more ambitious, and I'm very excited about it. But you know how sometimes projects go. You have a lot of enthusiasm and then something, you know, just doesn't pan out, or something wasn't planned well or whatever. So I just want to know what insights to look for. Now, I'll refresh your memory of the positional meanings of the hand spread. The first position is, let me go back to my notes. I wanted to make sure that I had the positions right. I know what all the positions were, but I wasn't sure of their order. The thumb is the first position, and the thumb represents the situation. You know, a card that, for the most part, represents the nature of the situation. The second position is pros. The third is cons. The fourth is how it plays out, how it develops. And then the fifth is the success or failure. Now, I mentioned when I did this video the last time, and the reason I'm doing a repeat of this spread is because it seemed to be very popular, is that the 5-finger spread, which was developed in 1750 in Bologna, which is another reason why I want to use a Bolognese deck, because I want to reunite the Bolognese spread with the Bolognese deck, that it seemed to be very familiar. It seemed to be very similar to the French tirage en croix, another 5-card spread laid in a different format, but with strikingly familiar positional meanings, which further encourages me to believe that the French, didn't so much invent cartomancy, or not cartomancy, but, divination with tarot, so much as maybe they borrowed it, from, an Italian tradition that, although maybe went under the wire as far as being publicly, maybe it wouldn't have been fortuitous for individuals to earn a living as a tarot card reader, but I believe certainly that it was being done, whether it was being paid for or not, in Italy. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so my question then is, with this project that I'm working on, what do I need to know? What do I need to work on? What do I need to avoid? And yeah, I'd like some insights as to whether it might succeed or not. Now, as I did with the last reading, I'm not going to display what the cards are until I lay them all down. But the first is a card to represent the situation. The second are the pros. What's working in my favor? The third is cons. What do I have to look out for? What is not working in my favor? The fourth, how it develops or plays out. And the fifth position is the success or failure. Now I'll turn them over and read them individually, and then I'll read them as a collection of cards. So it's a risk-taking adventure. This is the Fool. So yes, it's a risk take. I'm taking a risk. The nature of the beast is taking a risk, investing money in a project, So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The pros. Well, this is, I'm not really quite sure at the moment how to interpret this. I might have to see what the other cards have to say. By itself, the Two of Swords, I would say, some kind of duplicity or communication with another individual, or perhaps a conflict, but this isn't a pro, so it would have to be a pro, not a con. So let me see what the con says. I have been communicating with my daughter an awful lot, so that might be what's representing, being represented by the pros, is having like a silent partner, my daughter. Okay, the cons. Don't announce it too soon. Don't let too many people know. Here we have the trumpet, like in the context of the question, it could be an announcement, right? How it develops or plays out. Ooh, let's see. Well, it looks like it'll be very emotionally satisfying. This doesn't speak of financial success or financial satisfaction, but it does speak of emotional satisfaction, which is very significant to me. I want it to be a rewarding thing, and that looks like it will be. And this success or failure, ooh, the Devil. Well, the devil doesn't necessarily mean bad. It's not like it's the Tower card where it's just like, forget about it, it's a stupid idea. Or the Death card, which would say, well, maybe it won't turn out so well, or maybe it'll end before it starts, you know, or maybe it'll be a short-lived success. But the Devil card kind of addresses doing a passion, you know. As long as I keep passion in the project, as long as I'm enthusiastic about it, I think it would work. I think that this, you know, looks to be a satisfying outcome, you know, as long as I keep my passion in it. So here we have a risk. I'm taking a risk, which is true. I'm taking a bit of a financial risk. I don't see any cards suggesting financial loss. I do see, you know, emotional satisfaction with the Ten of Cups. In the pros, we do have a Two of Swords. Since it's a pro and not a con position, then it's not a conflict of any sort. So I think this is my daughter. I bounce ideas off my daughter. And so she's kind of become a silent partner. One of my sons also. But my daughter has been giving me more input. This one is not to, I think, in the con position, is not to announce it prematurely. I think that's good advice. And follow my passion. Just make sure that I remain enthusiastic about it. My success depends on my level of enthusiasm and excitement, right, of the project. So there we have it. Now, the original spread, as it was written down on a piece of paper in 1750 and found by Franco Pratesi, doesn't talk about quintessential cards. You know, however, I can't help myself. So I'm adding an additional aspect, which was, I think, developed by the French. So we have the Two. We have, now this is a tricky one because in Bologna, this would be seen as the ultimate card. This would be seen as the 21st card versus the 20th card as it is today. But, geez, we have to make a decision. So since I'm reuniting history with itself, I'm going to go with the 20th position. So we have 0, 2, 20, which gives us 22, 10, which gives us 32. And let me check and make sure that in 1750, that the Devil card would have been number 15. Okay, so I can't find that without using my phone, and I don't want to disrupt this video. So I'm going to go with 15 because I don't know any better. So here we had, I think we said 32 and 15. So we have 2, 21, oh no, 2 and 21 is 23. 23 and 10 is 33. And 33 and 15. So let me pull the quintessential. And to explain the process, I had added up the numeric values, got 48, subtracted 22, got 26, which is still larger than 22. And we use 22 because when you subtract 22 from the total, it allows you to have the possibility of the Fool as a quintessential card. So I subtracted 22 from the 26 and got 4, and the 4 would be represented by one of the 4 Moors. Remember, in 1725, the 4 Moors replaced cards 2 through 5, which had religious and secular significance, and the Italian papal state, was very touchy about showing religious versus secular rulers having more power or whatever. So they went with a group of cards that had nothing to do with Italy, so that they represented foreign persons of authority. So we have a person of authority. And so the quintessential message then is a good, solid, I think it's a good, solid thing. Reminding me to take charge, stay in control, and keep my passion in it. It shall be satisfactory, very emotionally satisfying. Don't prematurely make any announcements. Take advantage of my daughter and my son. Those who have, been encouraging me and helping me out. My husband too, to some degree, although he kind of lets me just do my thing. He doesn't get as enthusiastic about my projects as I do. And there we have it. So I hope this has been insightful and helpful and a little bit fun for you. And where those coins? Oh my goodness, I hope I didn't lose my coins. Yep. Reuniting history with itself. Until next time, friends, peace and stay well.